The Charlotte Bobcats, they existed for 1 decade, from the years 2004 through 2014. They were around for 10 seasons, and 183 different players have worn a Bobcats jersey at least once during this time period. So let's compare all the accolades, points, and stats of this entire franchise and see how they stack up to one LeBron James. Quick note, we are not including any Charlotte Hornets stats. Even with that in mind, is it still really fair to compare one single player to 183 total professionals? Well, the numbers might tell you a different story on who's really getting the unfair stick. For example, in the span of an entire decade, the Bobcats scored 76,058 total points. In those same 10 years, LeBron all alone scored 21,516 total points. So it would only take 3.5 LeBrons to equal the point value of all 183 Bobcats. And if we use LeBron's full career, it would only take 2.2 LeBrons. The Bobcats only have one All-Star from their era, that being Gerald Wallace in the 2009-2010 season. Kimba is a 3-time Hornets All-Star and a 1-time Celtics All-Star, but he was never selected as an All-Star under a Bobcats jersey. LeBron himself is a 16-time All-Star and a 10-time All-Star during the Bobcats' existence. The Bobcats only made the playoffs once in 2014 and got swept by the Heat. They were 7th in the Eastern Conference and the Heat was 2nd. Funny enough, it was LeBron himself who destroyed the Bobcats' only playoff appearance. I guess you could say they lost so bad that they turned into the Hornets. The Bobcats have a total of 293 wins. Now, it wouldn't be fair to take LeBron's team wins and compare them to the Bobcats, but if we take his individual win shares, he is sitting at 236.1 individual win shares. Think about that for a second. A fully complete franchise with 183 players only have 57 more team wins than one single player has when comparing his individual win shares, let alone his team wins. Now, for those who don't know what a win share is a player statistic which attempts to divvy up credit for a team's success to the individuals on a team. To give you an idea how high LeBron's win shares are at 236, he ranks 3rd overall at this moment, with Kareem at number 1, as Kareem has 273 win shares. Michael Jordan is at 5th place with 214 total win shares. If win shares were used as a metric to determine just how good a player would be, which in all fairness is probably not a good metric to use, but for hypothetical sake, let's say that win shares was the best stat to determine this. Well, this is how things would play out if we used it to divvy up LeBron's talent. What I'm trying to get at is LeBron alone could pretty much have the same record as the Bobcats. Now, not in a 1 on 15 type sense, that would be too impossible to theorize. More so if, say, the Space Jam Monstars were real and they sucked out LeBron's talent and split it evenly into 15 different people. Or if LeBron were to Naruto-style Shadow Clone Jutsu himself 15 times, dividing his talent equally for each clone. He would still be good enough to be an NBA team. Yes, a team of 15 1/15th LeBrons would be a horrible team, but the fact that they would be a team in of itself is a huge achievement. If we were to do the same for, say, Vince Carter, who is a good player but not a potential GOAT, a team of 15 1/15th Vince Carter clones would have half the wins the Bobcats got, and likely wouldn't be good enough to be considered an NBA team. But LeBron clones would be on par with them. LeBron so far has 3 championship rings, the Bobcats obviously have 0, LeBron alone has 4 MVPs so far, the Bobcats barely have 1 All-Star, let alone an MVP, and ironically, LeBron's career high of 61 points came from when the Heat faced the Bobcats in their final season as a team. So if you were wondering why the Bobcats went extinct in the NBA, it's because they were hunted down by a lion. The King, LeBron James.